Yes, guys, hello. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see on the screen, we have a very special guest. We have the CEO, Chris Dawe, who is the guy from Effect.AI, which everyone from EOS obviously knows. If you don't know about it, they just moved to EOS. But how you doing, sir? Where are you located? Where's the HQ?
Oh, fantastic, man. I'm doing excellent. An absolute pleasure to be on the show. Yeah, we're based out of Amsterdam, the Netherlands. So the two other founding members are Dutch. My wife and my kids are Dutch.
Awesome.
And that's how a friendly Canadian gets over here on this side of the planet.
Yeah, 100% on the boat across the pond. But yeah. I forgot to mention, this is the EOSwriter. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, just to crack on with like straight into it. So really simple explanation, because I think AI is quite a difficult topic for most people to kind of grasp. Like it's so broad. Like, you know, simple explanation, what is Effect.AI and what is it trying to achieve with AI and blockchain combined?
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good one. I thought you were setting up the question of what is AI, and it's like, wow, that is a vague one, and it's a kind of tough one. Let's not go there with this one. So Effect.AI, we're basically developing developer tools to help people build, monetize, and then power artificial intelligence solutions, algorithms, and stuff for their enterprise, for absolutely anything. So it kind of comes from the team having a problem. We come from a digital agency firm, all of us, and the couple guys that I co-founded this with are the highest technical guys you've ever met. On their free time, what they do for fun is build algorithms. So they use different platforms in different places, and then they found out that the costs are exponentially going up, and it's being very difficult to get data and to work with these platforms. And so we started looking into different solutions using blockchain, because that was a bit of a passion for us ourselves as well. So Friday evenings, drinking beers, talking about all of the new developments in the crypto space. I got into the space in 2014, like one of the co-founders, and one was new to the space, but highly technical, and just putting all the pieces together really quick. And then we looked at the one platform that we use the most to structure data, and data is the most important part to build an algorithm. You need vast quantities of data to structure that out, to form it in kind of a thing, put into your AI model. We used a service, Amazon Mechanical Turk. It's a massive thing, and under the umbrella of Amazon, obviously, it's been around for 10 years. You can do several different things. And we looked at that model and we said, they're charging us up to 40% to put on tasks to structure our data. We said, listen, this is the perfect this is the perfect thing for blockchain technology. We can get a vast workforce that do these simple tasks. We can do it globally, borderless, pay them without these fees or with very, very small minimal fees, and connect these organizations that need to structure this data, connect them to a workforce peer-to-peer. So if you look at data, they say, is the new oil. You would look at the idea of our first phase in our first platform as being the oil refinery. And then second to that, so this is the long version of what we're doing. So first version, structure your data with a human global workforce that can structure vast quantities of data at scale for you. Then you take that structured data and you put it into your model and you create an AI solution. Our second phase is an AI marketplace that connects any AI developer that has a solution to an audience, global audience on demand that can tap into these resources. So you want to put something on your phone that's going to categorize pictures or give you like a Google Maps type thing. You can go into the Effect Smart Market is what we call it. And you can get all of your algorithms and related services. And then phase 3 is a global supercomputer, very much like Gollum, where if you have GPU or CPU, you can pull that into a thing. And then you can use that to power your algorithm. So first one, we help you build it. Second one, monetize it. Third one is to power it.
Okay, sweet. Like, wow. I'm just trying to take it in. Like, it's one of those things. It's like you're making it more efficient. So you're looking at the Amazon way they did it, and you're trying to make it so all that data they have, you can kind of decentralize it with an AI algorithm, right? But before we get into it even deeper, like how did you get into the space? Like, how did you get into AI? How did you get into blockchain? Kind of going back a step, but we'll get there.
Yeah, no, totally cool. I've done a lot of YouTube interviews, but I haven't really been 100% truthful on how I got into blockchain.
Okay.
I've done the watered down version, so this is an exclusive. Yeah, I'll just do it. Whatever. My boys are gonna yell at me after, but that's fine.
Okay.
So I was living in Australia after moving from Thailand. I'm a globetrotter. I like to start businesses. I've been an entrepreneur all my life, so I've done lots of stuff. But I was living in Australia. I was there with my wife, and we were building a company out there, and it was a little bit lonely. It was me and my wife building a brand new company. We had some employees, but I was out there, and then I met a guy that told me about the dark web. Okay,
Okay,
told me
right.
all about the dark web,
The Silk
and
Road.
yeah, I was not in, yes, Silk Road. So I was not interested in most of the stuff. But then what happened after our conversation, I said, listen, I'm Canadian. I used to smoke a lot of weed. I haven't smoked a lot of weed in a long, long time. And in Australia, it's not so legal. Maybe it'd be cool to just, grab a joint from, yeah, that was
Enjoy
my
yourself, bro.
idea.
You're in
So
Australia.
what I
Son.
did, yeah, he told me it all works with Bitcoin, this cryptocurrency or this digital form of currency. So I actually looked at meetup.com, and I found a meetup, and I went downtown Melbourne to Thursday night meetup, and I remember walking into this building, and I look, and there's an organic food store at the base of this big high-rise building, and on the
Yeah.
other side was a fancy restaurant. And I was like, this can't be it. I'm looking for the basement with with these kids that are talking about technology and digital currencies. And
Exactly.
I look up, and there's this massive Bitcoin symbol and
Oh
glass
wow.
doors. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck am I getting into? So I walked upstairs, and it turned out that these guys were a mining organization that were based
Ah.
in China, but had an organization in Melbourne, and they did Bitcoin meetups on Thursday. There was only 5 guys there, and that was it. They had a little Bitcoin museum with all the mining devices from 2008, 2009, 10, 11, and it was the coolest. Well, I don't know if it was so cool for myself, but it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
And so they asked me, like, well, why are you here? I said, oh, I would like to get a Bitcoin, if that's possible. Bitcoin at that point was, I don't know, like
You're
$300 or
expecting to
something.
get a little coin, like they're gonna hand it to you.
Yeah, I didn't know even what I was up for, So he showed me the wallet and everything. He asked me what it was for. Then I got really nervous, and just said, I think it's a good investment. I would like to learn more, and I just want one Bitcoin. And so from there, I figured out how to, get onto the darknet and order a joint off the darknet. It was revolutionary. It was one of
Yeah.
the
Well,
coolest
yeah.
things ever. The safest, neatest way to grab a joint. Dude, I think people should be able to put into their bodies whatever they want to put into their bodies, and do it safely in a good way. And you think about drug dealers and how scary that is, but if you want to smoke a joint and it's not
Yeah.
legal in your country, this is a way to get it. And it was neat. Within a day and a half, I had the joint at my door. I smoked it. I didn't like it at all. I forgot how it was, and it wasn't that great. But that's how I got into blockchain. From there, it was a rabbit hole,
Yeah.
the rabbit hole that we all talk about. And it never stopped from 2014, 15, 16. I started getting really following different YouTubers and everybody else, and really dove deep into Bitcoin and what it was. And that's how I got into that.
Yeah.
Artificial
Cool.
intelligence came much later when I moved to the Netherlands just about 2 years ago. I joined a digital design firm, and I've never really had a job, but I took a job as a communications officer for the company, and I met these
Nice.
guys, and it was a part-time gig for me, and it was just for fun because I just moved here with my wife and my kids,
Yeah.
and then now we're here.
That's it. Well, ever since that joint, bro, this could all just be a massive like. This isn't even real. The whole
No,
thing.
I don't know what's happening, but no, I wouldn't trade that moment for anything. It's funny, like looking back at the stories of our lives and what brought us to what points. And that's exactly it, man. Listen, I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. I don't do these things. But that one moment in history where I met that one old friend that told me about this digital currency, and for me, not thinking outside of the box too much, but then meeting these people, them telling me about, how exclusive it is to be a mining operation in China, and then going, wait a minute, is there something actually here?
Yeah.
And obviously for me being an entrepreneur is about profits, but then all of a sudden it became about the technology and that whole entire
That's
movement.
it. Yeah. Well, it's like this technology, it always starts with criminals, doesn't it? It's like any new technology. It's like they need to make something happen without, against the law, and they want to use the new tech to kind of get around the system. So I think like the Silk Road, do you remember that, where he got busted with his laptop, like 100,000 Bitcoin? It's like all that is now, I think that's what's keeping Bitcoin maybe still a little bit, like people are a little bit still staying away from it. Like in the inner community like us, we understand the technology, but it's keeping less people in. But once you go down the rabbit hole, like you said, it's like, this is everything. But
listen, all these big, okay, sorry, go on.
Go. You can say.
Yeah, listen, the institutional people that are getting into this and all these big, huge corporations, they will validate it. Unfortunately, those are the guys that are going to validate this place, not the do-gooders, not the people that are using this technology for good.
Yeah.
But you have all these, and that's fine. Like, obviously, we need those guys to make the next step up to prove what we're building out. And that's okay by me. If it's those guys that make it, it's not the ideal way, but it's the way it's going to go because they understand how to profit from this and what it means to do these transactions and how blockchain works. That's great. But then it will give us the power to validate it with what we're building as well,
Yeah.
And what we're building is way more important than JP Morgan and all these.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right?
Way more important. But if they validate it and then we beat them at the game, then that's cool if it rolls out like that.
It's almost ironic how like this Bitcoin you use to like against the law to buy weed, right? And then actually Bitcoin is going to completely take away the power from the real corruption, which is like the banking industry or whatever you want to talk about. But yeah, that's a whole other story. But
we have to talk more like that, going to take away, not like potentially can. We know it will eventually, right? But we need to start talking in factual information because it's certainly fact. And the more I'm in this space, there was times 2016, 17, I'm like on the fence. I'm like, oh, like, can we really make it? It's like 5 dorks at this meetup still, you know? Like,
sure.
We're not really getting too far with this thing. I don't think it can happen. It's official now. Like everybody can tune in right now. It's 100% official. We will take out all of these bad actors because the systems are ridiculous. I understand being an opportunist and jumping into these systems and profiting from these systems, but they've always been broken. And that's fine because we haven't had things like Bitcoin and blockchain technology.
Exactly.
We can fix them, and then we're doing that, So these criminals are going to validate it, and then we're going to be able to push them aside.
It's crazy, man. I'm so excited for everything. Like, it's just innovation is efficiency, making things more efficient. But we'll crack on. So yeah, we were going on and on. So just so back to Effect.AI. So you kind of gave it an explanation of it. It sounds amazing. Like, what are the requirements a blockchain needs for this kind of project? Like, because you were with Ethereum before, now you're with EOS. Like, what have you learned along the way with, because just in one sentence, so you're basically trying to allow AI data to be distributed so everybody can benefit from it. That's kind of the real simple version of it. But I'm still
really. So I understand how you would feel that way. And just a quick correction, we were on the Neo blockchain.
Sorry.
So we're coming over from Neo, and the basic thing. So we're not trying to free data to everybody. What we're trying to do is create development tools to help people that are creating AI be able to connect to different peoples to structure that out. So there are other projects like Ocean Protocol, which I'm a complete fan of. They're an incredible team of people and doing incredible things. Yeah. But they're breaking down the data silos and opening up data for all with different types of incentives, and there's incredible things. So yeah, if anybody wants to learn more about the project, go on to Effect.AI and the website, and you'll be able to sort that out. But what we really needed, and with the Neo blockchain, we met with those guys in Shanghai, we met with the core team, we said, listen, we're going to scale fast, because when it comes to big data and structuring these things, so you take just like, let's say, image classification, there's some companies that are holding hundreds, if not billions of images that need to be labeled and tagged and structured in some kind of format. So we said, listen, we need a blockchain that's going to scale with our ambition. They seem to be it. Turned out they weren't. When we first went live with our platform about 6 months ago, we did 400,000 transactions in the first 24 hours. The blockchain couldn't handle it. They had 7 bookkeeper nodes, which is not decentralized at all. They agreed to shut down to fix some problems. It was mayhem. It was absolutely crazy. So we had to figure out how to log transactions for when the blockchain goes down. The Neo blockchain has gone down several times. It doesn't make big news. If Ethereum went down, you'd hear it all over the place. Nobody cares about Neo. It doesn't. It didn't serve its purpose for us. I wish them the best. I hope that they do great, but it didn't work. We're scaling a heck of a lot faster than those guys. Then we started exploring different blockchains, and we did this before our project as well. But then EOS, when we looked at EOS, we said, listen, we need to dive deep into the technology because technology matters first, you know? Decentralization, yes, that helps everything. And the governance, that also helps everything. But the technology first, we need to be able to scale to potentially millions of transactions per day. And we need to find the right blockchain for this because Neo was supposed to be it. Ethereum was talking about it, but the scalability wasn't there. Yeah, so transactions per second are very important for us. We're working with clients that have vast quantities of data in all kinds of different categories. So yeah, that scalability. And EOS on a technical level, it's very strange with EOS. The whole crypto community, there's a big FUD army or something, right? So a couple of our programmers immediately said, no way to EOS. And I said, I don't care what you think and what you know you think. I only care about the technology. So stop looking at everything else. Can we test the technology? We did a 24-hour hackathon with our tech team, 7 guys. I asked them afterwards, I said, so what do you think of EOS now? And not being facetious or anything, I just wanted to know. And they said, yeah, still don't like it. I said, okay, but what about the technology? And they said, technology is superior, much more superior than anything we've tested out so far. I said, okay, that's it. And so that's what we need in a blockchain first and foremost. Second thing, governance decentralization is incredibly important to us. We checked out everything with EOS. Man, it stands up. I don't understand what people are saying when they challenge these facts. Absolutely incredible. You're paying block producers to give back to the community. So the members of the community vote for those people. I've had almost all of the block producers reach out to me and offer all of their services for free. All of the stuff they've been working so hard on and paying incredible amounts of money to develop, offering it to me for free. That's validation that this system is the most incredible system ever, yeah? If you're an outsider, get in for a second and open your eyes because it's crazy. I'm not one of these EOS fanboys. I'm just the truth of what I've learned. It's incredible. And
well, it's interesting you say that because Brendan Bloomer recently came out with a tweet saying the reason there has been so much FUD is because most of the competition's already absorbed by say Ethereum mostly. Like the Ethereum consensus. So they're all trying to make it so EOS isn't there, but they miss the technology. And then they ignore the facts that actually, if they actually opened up and said, okay, well, look at it, they could actually use the protocol as well. We could all benefit from it. But yeah, what you're saying is exactly right. Because any project I looked at over the last couple of years, the ones which had the most FUD usually had something about them which was actually worth listening and looking at. So it's basically like human emotion, isn't it? They're like, oh, well, we don't want them to get better than us. Like, for instance, IOST. A lot of people are saying IOST at the moment can't do what it's going to do, but they've got a really good technology behind it. But yeah, I agree with you on what you're saying. But yeah, we have to be EOS fanboys. But if you want to get on board with this tech, just come on board. Like the block producers are giving away their services for free. This is amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a whole reversal of how business and the world works. It's so genius. And I've been following Dan Laramie for a long time with BitShares and Steemit, but not because of BitShares and Steemit. My wife was on Steemit for quite some time. And
I started on Steemit as well. Yeah, that's it.
But I was really into trading at some point in my cryptocurrency and blockchain history. So BitShares, I had to look into the fundamentals and the technology and everything else about these technologies. And I even seen arguments between Dan Laramie and Vitalik and stuff. And to see him validate his ideas and arguments, I think is incredible. But to answer the question, what's important with the blockchain, just to finish it off.
Yeah.
So first one is the technology. The governance and decentralization is very important because that matches our ideals and needs to align. And then third is community. Community is massive. And where we really got involved with EOS is we got invited to the EOS hackathon. So we had to put masks on and hide away.
Was that London? Was that London you were at?
Yeah, it was London.
I was there as well. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, were you there? Oh, crazy. Cool. So I wanted to be kind of low key, so I came in, but I was so inspired from 2014 being in a room with 5 technical, uncomfortable individuals to being in the Science Museum in the middle of London with 700 participants in this hackathon. I broke down in tears a bit. My brain blew up. Yeah, all of that stuff. And so I was a mentor. I was an entrepreneurial mentor. So I did not sleep. I did not even eat. I didn't do anything but go table to table to table and help these guys. And then I blew my cover by winning the most valuable mentor of the whole entire thing.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And yeah, so that was the thing, man. It was the most inspiring thing ever. So I thought, okay, cool. Block 1 has some money, right? Okay, they got some money. They put on a cool hackathon, but maybe this is not the community. But that's money can pay for cool stuff like that. Yeah. No,
yeah,
that was the EOS community, man. And once we decided to announce that we were migrating our technology to EOS, they all came out of the woodwork immediately. And I made some good connections and friends there at the hackathon. But it's been unbelievable how much support we've got since we announced. It's mind-blowing. It's the most inspiring, emotional journey just the last few weeks of announcement. It's
yeah. Well, it's like what you said earlier, like with the block producers, right? So on Neo and Ethereum, no one knows who the miners are, and like that's kind of the main thing. They're running your whole platform. They're the ones who are they're the people who are literally kind of in control. But if it's decentralized, it's fine. But at least with the block producers, you know where they are. Like you got EOS New York, you got Cypher Glass. These guys are doing so much good back to the community. I don't see that in any other chain. And that comes back to the delegated proof of stake. And then obviously it's like Steemit. Everyone on Steemit wanted Steemit to grow because it meant that you're going to get more revenue from other people coming onto the platform. So it's kind of the same thing, but actually it's the whole layer is like that. So we could talk about EOS forever, but yeah, we're happy to have you here, bro. We think that your project's good anyway. Like, you're part of it now, so.
Cool, man. I'm so excited to be here. And anybody that's watching this, if you want to collaborate, I'm an entrepreneur. I like to compete in the business world, but this is a different animal now. I want to collaborate with absolutely everybody. I want to give all of my services, the best that I can to everybody, all of my time. So just reach out. But you don't even have to reach out because everybody in the EOS community has already reached out. I'm friends with everybody already.
There's no one left.
There's nobody left. So yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. Well, just a few more questions. Like we've done about 25 minutes, I think, but we can keep going for a bit longer. So, like more like vague questions. So we've kind of gone through you kind of went through the roadmap briefly. So, what can we expect over the next couple of months? What can we hear from you guys?
Okay. So, it's a fantastic question. We have the migration of the EFX token. So that's the name of our token, EFX. You can find it on Switcheo and Bitmart right now. No major exchanges. That's a move that we wanted to do. The migration is going to be April 30th. So anybody that's holding EFX Net 5, totally fine. Hold it, it's cool. You're going to be able to migrate it. Our tech team has already built out the technology, has built out the interface. It's going to be the most simple migration ever. And this is a shout out to all those Neo projects that aren't happy. We'll open source the whole thing so you can come over to EOS or wherever you'd like to go in the future as well. So that's what we're working on right now. We're working on an Effect wallet because we do have an entire protocol on this that people can tap into interface. We'll have a technology stack. So there's many things in a wallet that will benefit our community. So we're working on the first release, which will have staking mechanisms and all kinds of different things to make sure that people get network fees and all kinds of different rewards from what we're doing. What else do we have? An announcement of a little bit of a bonus for the people that are migrating. But I think the most exciting thing for me, so this was really interesting with my team, we said, listen, if we set up this company and in 15 years we're able to retire because we did a good job and we have some money, what are you going to do? We went through and everything was pretty honorable. But for me, it's really developing countries and trying to help. If I have extra money and there's a kid starving somewhere in the world, for me, that's like something that's completely wrong. So it turns out that our project gets to help that as the essence of the project already. So we already have 2,000 global workers from 90 different countries working on our platform on the Effect network. We have that. Most of them are developing countries. So I came up with an idea. How about we create these social impact hubs, like these Effect.AI social impact hubs, physical locations that people in those communities can work out of, teach each other how to work on the platform, have some kind of an accelerated learning program so they can learn about blockchain, AI, and all of these different technologies. So I've been working on a pilot program with the UN for the last 6 weeks. Last 10 weeks, 12 weeks, I don't even know how long. We've been working on this for quite some time in the country of Georgia, where the average wages are about $2 US per hour. We were able to validate that we could pay them over $3 an hour in wages. We connected with the UN on Monday of this week, did a presentation. That partnership is sealed. It's done. We're partners with the UN in the country of Georgia. And we had the mayor of a town, Rustavi, which is 40 minutes outside of the capital, give us a physical location for free for good. And if you see the picture of this, it's the Central Theater that's been run down a little bit, but it's the most beautiful building that I've ever seen. And we get to have and house people that want to learn about working on our platform and earning cryptocurrencies and learning about blockchain and AI in this physical location. So it's the first of hundreds of these Effect social impact hubs that we'll have all over the world. So I'll be working on that. I'll be flying back to Georgia, painting this place, putting in the internet, putting in the computers, working with the youth that we did the pilot with. That's where my passion lies. And then the tech team's working on all things technology, like migration and the dApps and platforms.
Yeah. Well, it just even that, there's so much stuff happening within the project. And also, just to touch on your point about like blockchain being able to like enhance people's lives around the world, that's the whole reason, isn't it? Like, if we can actually do good and create a system which, we can benefit from as well, and everyone else can benefit from, that's the real, like, the whole life, what we've seen it before. Like you said, business models were about, trying to take as much value as you can, and then basically making the most amount of profit for the worst product. Now it's all about like distributing that so everyone can use it. But yeah, man, like, it's just like you're validating it, and it's just really cool to hear you say that, because that's exactly what it's all about, and that's what EOS can bring. But and then last real thing I've got to ask you, it's kind of like, well, I don't really know, like, if you probably know more about this than anyone else. So, but like, AI is such a broad topic, isn't it? I'm not going to ask you like what, where's AI going, because it's a little bit too like difficult to know. But like, where do you see the future of this technology really? Like, because there's all this talk about, Elon Musk saying it's dangerous and everything like this. Like, you don't have to go into too much detail, but like, what do you see the future of AI, and how far can it take people and enhance people's lives?
Super loaded question, and it's probably the most fun subject that you can get into, whether you know nothing about AI or you are Elon Musk and know more than most people know. I was just on a panel for Politico, which is a very big, large news station in the European Union out of Brussels. Government officials from all over the world. I was able to have the honor to sit on a panel to talk about the future of work, because people are very scared that AI will take jobs. And then what does the future look like?
Interesting, yeah.
In every industrial revolution, technology has taken jobs, but we've produced better and cooler jobs. 300 years ago, we all worked in fields farming. Yeah. 100 years ago, we all worked in factories, on product lines. And then, today's world, we work in office buildings. All of those jobs are shit. They suck. And if technology can take those and do something with them, then great. My adversary, Jeff Bezos, he said once that the thought of being a massage therapist as a profession would be unheard of 50 years ago. Absolutely ridiculous. Could never exist in our world. And now that's happening. So more human-centric jobs are going to be created. The things that really matter are going to start happening. So I think computers, for me, it's not scary. It can be scary. I think that's many years off the scary part of this. But I think it's going to enhance what we do. It's going to take away the repetitive, shitty jobs that nobody should be doing anyways.
Yeah, automation, basically, yeah.
Yeah, just automating stuff. Imagine, like, if we have somebody at our office, and it's ridiculous. She sorts receipts all day long, sorting receipts and doing administration tasks.
Like
baloney. Yeah, oh my God, don't know how she does it. I'm feeling bad. Blockchain with AI solves that problem easily. So I think people will start to be able to do things that are more human centric and much better, and then also be able to lead to something like basic universal income, where people, like these algorithms, they do take jobs, validate the work that they're taking from humans, and then feed that money in a tax system back to the humans. I hate taxes. I think it's the most crooked shit ever. But if you're going to tax something, tax robots. Tax the hell out of those guys, the corporations that run the robots and the AI, and give that back to the people. I will be at the forefront of that. I think that's it. And listen,
I think you nailed it. Yeah, like that's like, it's like monetizing. Like it's going to be less about you like working to earn money. It's going to be more about you kind of monetizing your own assets, which will be more like your time, your content, your work, and then maybe like your ideas, because you'll be able to put it on a blockchain, and like the Mios social media coming out. Just change the screen, but yeah, like with the whole the Mios announcement's going to come out in June probably. Like we don't know 100%, but it's like that
speculation, because I have insider information and know exactly what's going down.
Oh really? Oh god! Yeah. Like you got to spill the beans now, bro.
All right, I'm just going to do it. So Block One and Effect.AI are partnering on the Effect network. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I don't have a clue either, man. I've been speculating. I've actually talked to a whole bunch of people in the EOS community, just like behind the scenes, to really, like, even a couple members of Block One have called up and said, "Hey, listen, I need to know right now. I want to be the one that's privileged to know what's happening." They're not breaking their silence, and obviously social media platform that's worked out all the little kinks that Steam had and everything else. It makes sense that is it. Will that be it? I think that's big enough to blow everything out of the water and really blow the roof off the crypto space, and millions of transactions and people taking part. So
I think you're the what you're doing with AI as well is going to be such a big deal. Like AI is already like so entrenched in our lives. If you can like do what you're doing and make that more efficient, that's going to go a long way. And then we've got, like you said earlier, with the whole, we used to work in the fields, and then we used to just like make corn and then eat corn. Like our work hour days, like if you look at a graph, I looked at one the other day, I think it was like national kind of like, it's not work, but it's like, can't remember the actual, like what the graph, I think it was something like that. Yeah. And it was like, it was showing how on average, we just don't do as much. And that graph's not going to start going the other way anytime soon. Like we're going to be more monetizing ourselves, but like even YouTube is quite alien to people. Like you get paid from YouTube. It's like, well, yeah, like people still don't understand that, but
it's crazy, right? Like you have Netflix, like Netflix is going out the window. YouTube is where it's all at. We're going to all monetize from these different things, and then take that into a decentralized world where you can monetize your data, you can monetize your stuff, and YouTube's not taking profits. I mean, the future.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, the future is the most, like the near future is the most, we're in the most exciting times in the history of the world. And that's saying a lot, because Led Zeppelin was back in the 70s, and that was pretty exciting. But
I wasn't around back then, but yeah, I can imagine that was pretty fun, man. Like those days. But no, I think every single generation always say that about their time. They're always like, this is the most amazing time, because human beings are like that. We always innovate, and that's exactly what you're doing. That's what EOS is doing. And like, when say, 100 years ago, when we just like built this factory, they're like, oh my, there's another quote. Who was it by? Oh God, I can't remember. I think it was by, Brunel. And he was like, he built loads of bridges in the UK. You know who he is, like the Brunel guy. And he said that new technology is always indistinguishable from magic at the time. So it's like when everybody hear about blockchain, they're like, what? Like, how is that even possible? You can like decentralize a middleman. So like, instead of YouTube taking the money, everyone else can take it. That is magic, like to most people today. So,
it's so sucky that people feel like it's magic and they don't dig a little bit deeper and figure it out. Because if more people figured it out, we'd get there a lot quicker, But people are busy doing their things, I get it, I understand it, and there's a lot to learn. I'm still learning about the EOS ecosystem by all kinds of incredible people in the ecosystem. But there's so much to learn, and there's so many moving parts. But just the fundamental of taking out the middleman so you can hold more value for your dollar. Just figure that part out, and then build on top of that, because then you can build almost anything that's more inspiring than anything you've ever been a part of.
You're more excited than me, and I'm like excited about it. It's like we work well together right now. We're both like, this is amazing. It's like even taking
crazy.
even taking the dollar out of like conventional businesses is massive as well. Like if we don't have to have your, like, you know, Brendan Bloomer said it in that recent talk, if you can take out the dollar from the business where you don't need to use that as the main transfer of value, you can just, you don't have to use that whole system. It's like, you don't need the dollar.
I'm going to do what you've done a couple times.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? And of course, the mainstream is going to go, what are these boys on? You know, what are they talking about? But of course, that correlates and makes all the sense as long as you do a little bit of due diligence, a little bit of research. Then this is the time we can flip that whole entire broken system. And it is the most exciting thing ever for me, man. Ever. I'm 100% dedicated to the ecosystem, to everything that's going on. I'm so happy to be part of the EOS ecosystem. I'm at the service of everybody in the industry. So yeah, let's collaborate. Let's do some stuff and let's move this forward. You know, let's do meetings. Let's talk to people. Let's expose what we know to the masses to get this adopted quickly.
Build this decentralized future. Yeah. But I think that's like a good note to kind of end on. Like, that was awesome. Like, thanks so much for coming on. Like, you know, we'll do this again. This is the EOSwriter, of course, IO. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, like, subscribe. We get great guys like this on all the time. Legends. And then, yeah, just Chris, so where can we find you? Like, what's your Twitter and all that kind of, like, where can we contact you?
Yeah, Chris Effect.AI on Twitter and then on Telegram is the best place to hit me up, and that's where everybody seems to hit me up is Telegram. So if you go to the Effect.AI main page, you'll see me active in there all of the time. And then you'll find me with Max Dawe almost all the time. We'll do this every couple of weeks. Let's do like some kind of ongoing thing, maybe speed questions back and forth, like once every couple of weeks.
We should do like a weekly news. We should go down the news and just do a podcast and just talk about it. Like, we'll scroll through the EOSwriter.
Bad, good, bad, you know, JP Morgan, okay, bad, you know,
get rid of that.
EOS, good, you know, we can have some fun, man. Let's talk about it and do something. I'd love to do it.
Sweet, man. I'm on it 100%. But yeah, like I said, that was EOSwriter. Thanks guys for watching and have a good day. Cheers.